This is the HPT.
Sit right down, put on your poker face. You with the big dogs now. Better bring your best game. Talk trash all you want. To me, it's all the same. You won't leave with much when you come in second place. And I'm the one with the stack showing 7 to the jack. Gonna cry to your mama cause I'm sending you back. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. Last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand.
Hello everyone and welcome to the HPT. I'm James Larson, joined by the talented and beautiful Maria Ho. This week we come to you from the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa, St. Charles, right outside of St. Louis, Missouri, and we will crown a champion on tonight's program. The poker room has been jam-packed all week long. The cash games were juicy, the tournaments had big turnouts, and now we're down to the final 5 players in the main event. And Maria, somebody's actually going to go home tonight from this final table. They're going to go home with just over $129,000. What a payout here on the HPT. Let's get started and head down to the final table.
Our champion is going to take home just under $130,000. Second place, $78,450. Third, just over $52,000. And our fifth place finisher tonight is going to go home with $27,444. Matt Culberson has a huge chip lead, 5-handed. He has over $6 million in chips. Jeff Bryn, $2.2 million. Matt Canella, $1.3 million. And Mike Ross and Ron Amos are short stacks with about 16 big blinds each.
And if you missed our show last week, Matt Culberson, who is our chip leader, has pretty much been dominating from hand number 1 as he's trying to win his first ever HPT championship, take home the title, and just over $129,000 in cash. Folded around to Matt Canella. He's going to raise it up to $190,000 with a pretty little hand, Maria, the ace-queen suited in spades. Matt Culberson folds over to Jeff Bryn.
And Jeff has the second biggest chip stack right now, and it looks like he's going to get involved here, putting out a 3-bet to $500,000 with ace-queen of clubs. And Canella with the same hand, just a different suit, is going to call.
Jeff Bryn has placed 12th twice on the HPT.
I'm Jeff Bryn from Olathe, Kansas, and me and my brothers have a carpet store in Kansas City. I got a little bit of nerves. I'm really excited. Thank HPT for the opportunity, but I'm ready to go and hopefully can win this thing.
The flop is 7-5 deuce. Both players with a suited ace-queen.
Jeff goes all in, and you know, this is the interesting part of poker. When two players have the same hand, a lot of the times it's who is the most aggressive that's going to take down the pot. In this case, Jeff was the one who 3-bet pre-flop and Canella just called. And so I don't know if Canella's going to be able to call it off here with just ace high.
And Matt is going to fold. A sigh of relief there, it looks like, from Jeff Bryn. Jeff is 37 years old. He's from Hayes, Kansas. He owns a carpet store. Might take a couple days off from the carpet store if he goes home with over $129,000. That's the thing I know I would do. If I had a day job and I won a big poker tournament, I'd probably take Monday off.
Probably take the whole week off.
I might take the whole month off. I'd probably quit my job.
And Jeff calls with Queen Jack offsuit here. And Mike calls from the small blind with 10-9 offsuit. Ron, who's been very tight at this final table, checks his option from the big with Queen 3 offsuit.
This is Ron's first HPT main event.
The flop is Jack 4 deuce rainbow.
Mike Ross is going to check over to Ron.
Ron also checks over Jeff, who has flop top pair here.
Jeff's going to bet 175,000 chips. And Mike and Ron both fold. Jeff likes to show his cards. He's done that a couple times on last week's show, and he's doing it again tonight. Well, don't go too far. We have to take a quick commercial break. But when we come back, more exciting final table action. You're watching the HPT. This is the HPT. It's James Larson and Maria Ho. We broadcast this week from the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa here in St. Charles, Missouri. Up top, Matt Culberson.
He has $6.2 million in chips. Jeff Bryn has just under $3 million. We got a couple of short stacks here, and the other three players have somewhat short stacks. They all have in the range of 15 to 17 big blinds.
The action continues. Blinds going up now, 30,000, 60,000 with a 10K ante. We start with the chip leader, and he wakes up with pocket queens. Everything's going right for this guy.
He's picked up a lot of big hands at this final table. He raises to 175,000.
But Ron's got the John Deere hat. He's going to fold. Over to Canella in the 9 seat.
It would be awesome if I can come up with a victory here. I played strong throughout the tournament, so I feel confident with my gameplay. Done everything right up until this point, so hoping that everything falls in place.
So he's going to defend here with King 8 of hearts.
And the flop, well, that's gin. Queen, Trey, Deuce, all hearts.
Canella's got to be pretty excited. He's probably jumping for joy on the inside. He's flopped the second nut flush, and Culberson's flopped top set. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of action this hand.
Yeah, I got a feeling we're going to be seeing some fireworks.
Culberson bets 250,000, and Canella's just thinking, should I just call here? Do I raise? I want to try to make sure I get the maximum. There's no way he knows Culberson flopped such a strong hand as top set. I think if he did, he wouldn't mind fast playing.
So Matt Canella simply makes the call. And the turn card, another heart, this time the 7 of hearts. Matt Canella checks.
And Culberson checks behind. He doesn't like that 4 flush on board. River pairs the deuce of clubs, though. So now Canella went from flopping the best hand to getting rivered. Culberson rivers a boat here.
He's not happy.
Canella moved to haul in. Culberson obviously called, and Canella is not happy about this.
Shaking his head. The deuce of clubs on the river makes the boat for Culberson. Canella is eliminated. He can't believe it.
Play good, dude.
He wasn't even thinking about him having the ace of hearts. He had no idea about the boat. He thought he won this hand. He's in absolute shock. But one thing that'll help that shock, $27,444. The action is heating up here at this HPT final table. Culberson still stacking chips.
Blinds 30,000, 60,000 with a 10K ante. Mike limps in with King 3 of clubs from the small blind.
My name is Ron Amos. I'm from Quincy, Illinois, and I'm an engineer. Played with most of the players, and I have a tight image. I want to try to use that to my advantage.
He's playing his game, first ever HPT event. Going to check his option in the big blind with King 10.
And the flop is 7-5-3 rainbow. So Mike has outflopped Ron here, hits his 3 here.
You say 3, I say Trey. I guess we're both right, Maria.
The turn is the 2 of hearts. Mike decides he's going to bet 75,000 here with his pair of 3s.
Action over to Ron. The deuce of hearts on the turn, nothing for him. He's going to go ahead and fold. Mike Ross finally stacking some chips. He is from New York. Now he lives in Chicago.
Hey.
150,000 lifetime earnings. This is his first HPT event. We asked what his plans are for the cash, and he said, I have no clue. No clue. I would imagine Mike's the kind of guy that would buy a couple rounds of drinks.
Folded over to the small blind of Ron.
Ron looks down at ace 10. First place tonight, $129,147.
And Ron only has about 10 big blinds. I don't really know why he's just limping in here.
Look at all those chips that Culberson has.
Yeah. I'm all in.
And he's going to get Culberson to put him all in with ace 9.
Well, I limped anticipating you to do that.
Well, then you got to play your hand.
I agree. I call.
Ron is in good shape to double up here, though. He's got Matt dominated.
Ace 10 versus ace 9. And look at this. Jack 9 Trey.
Everything just going right here at this final table for Matt Culberson.
The turn's the sweat.
Everything's going right for Matt. He's a baseball coach, and he's truly hitting it out of the park at this final table.
The turn is the ace of clubs, so Matt has 2 pair aces and nines. If Ron doesn't hit a 10 on the river, he's going to be taking home $36,592 for his efforts here today.
Jack or a 10?
Earbuds are coming out. He's standing up.
Call those out too.
The river card, no dice for Ron, the queen of diamonds. So that's going to do it. A nice little payday for him, though, $36,592. And Maria, he's still got the John Deere hat. Blinds are $30,000, $60,000 with a $10K ante.
3-handed now. Matt Culberson has a huge chip lead. I don't see anybody taking that away from him the way that he's been playing, the way that he's been running.
Mike Ross raises to $180,000 with his ace deuce.
Matt calls with king queen offsuit. And Jeff in the big blind here.
Keep me in mind. Here's my triple up.
He's going to come in with king 10 offsuit, so it's a family pot here.
Players are singing, smiling, laughing. King 8-5 is the flop. Couple of clubs.
Matt checks over to Jeff, who bets $300,000. Mike quickly folds.
And per usual, Matt has outflopped the other players. So Matt does make the call.
Oh, I'm sorry. Give me slime to you.
And Matt has the better kicker here. Both players with top pair.
Check.
Looks like a check in the dark by Culberson. 6 of hearts now on the turn. So both players checking that.
And the river is the 10 of hearts, and now Jeff has rivered Matt, improved to 2 pair, and he bets $300,000. And Matt doesn't like it because a backdoor flush draw also came in, but I think he might just have to pay this off because the club draw from the flop didn't get there.
Bet the flop. Seems like 2 pair.
Wow, Matt says it seems like 2 pair. It's a good read, but he still can't get himself to fold.
So the 10 of hearts on the river is good for Jeff Bryn as he adds to his chip stack. When we come back, we'll have more exciting final table action. You're watching the HPT. Welcome back to the HPT. James Larson and Maria Ho coming to you from the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa right here in St. Charles, Missouri. 3 players remain, Matt, Jeff, and Mike.
Matt Culberson has almost $7 million in chips. Jeff Bryn has $3.2 million, and Mike Ross has just under $1.3 million. None of the players here are short, really, so there's going to be a good deal of play left.
Blinds $30,000, $60,000 with a $10K ante on the button. Here first is Mike Ross.
He folds, and Matt looks down at king 5 offsuit in the small blind, and he limps in.
And the option is checked by Jeff in the big blind. The flop is Jack 6-4 Rainbow. Matt checks. Both players checking.
The turn is the Jack of Hearts. So Matt decides that he wants to just take this down right here with a bet of $75,000, but Jeff's not going to fold ace high on this paired board.
And the river card is the 4 of hearts. Matt's going to check.
I think Jeff can check back too. He doesn't need to turn his hand into a bluff, but he does. There's a chance he might get a call from Matt, though, with king high.
The bet $100,000. Matt does make the call. Jeff's going to realize his ace is going to be good to win the pot. So it's Matt, Jeff, and Mike. One of these players will go home with $129,000 and change. But Maria, for second place, not too shabby, $78,350, and the minimum cash right now, just over $52,000. Action is on Mike. He looks down at pocket kings.
Huge hand to wake up with 3-handed, especially because Mike has the least amount of chips 3-handed.
And now things are getting interesting. Mike raises to 190. Matt wakes up with pocket sixes for a 3-bet to $400,000.
And I don't mind that 3-bet by Matt at all, 3-handed. But look at this. Jeff has pocket 8s in the big blind. A lot of action in front of him, though.
Wow, three-handed. We see kings, we see sixes, and now pocket eights. And look at that, a laydown, a great laydown by Jeff.
Mike goes all in, and I don't really think Matt can 3-bet fold sixes to his all in. He's probably hoping that Mike just has ace-king or ace-queen.
Tough decision for our chip leader here, Matt Culberson, 32 years old. Only $375 invested in this event.
Nah, he's too confident. Fold.
And a fold.
I'd pocket eight.
That's a really good laydown by Matt there.
Too confident.
We're seeing some great poker play. We saw Jeff lay down eights. We see Matt fold pocket sixes.
He is going to show it.
And he is going to show it. Mike's going to show the kings.
I don't think that's necessary.
Good read there.
So Mike's going to win that pot of just under 2 million chips.
Good lay down, Matty.
Thanks, bro.
Three-handed poker here from the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa in St. Charles. It's one thing I haven't visited on this trip was the spa portion of the Ameristar Casino, but the staff and everybody has just done a fantastic job, and it's great to be back here in the great state of Missouri.
Mike raises with Queen Jack to 190,000. Matt calls with Jack 8.
Let's play a pot, Matty.
And the flop is Queen 10-5 Rainbow.
So Mike has top pair. Matt has a gut shot straight draw. 9 would give him a straight.
It's a bet of 300,000 chips by Mike Ross. And Matt quickly makes the call. Matt's been playing great poker, but he's been running so well at this final table. Things just going his way.
I'm all in.
And in poker, Maria, that's what needs to happen for you to become a champion. Four of spades on the turn. Mike's going to make an all-in wager, and Matt quickly folds. It's James and Maria coming to you from the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Make sure to check out our webpage at hptpoker.com. Pick an event that will work for you, and who knows, maybe you'll be playing for the life-changing cash. Lines are 30,000, 60,000 with a 10K ante.
190.
Mike Ross is going to raise to 190,000. Matt Culberson, our chip leader, gets out of the way. Now over to Jeff Bryn, who's going to make the call in the big blind with Jack Tray of clubs. Three-handed poker is so much different than a full table.
Flop is 7-4-3 Rainbow. So Jeff has bottom pair here. Mike has a gut shot straight draw. 5 would give him a straight.
It goes check, check, and now the turn, the Queen of Diamonds. Once again, we start with Jeff Bryn, who's from Hayes, Kansas. He owns a carpet store. Mike is going to bet 250,000 chips. Jeff makes the call.
And the river is the 6 of clubs. So Mike has actually hit a pair now. And it goes check, check. Mike is happy to see a showdown here.
When we come back from this quick commercial break, we're going to find out who our new champion is going to be, and that person will go home with just over $129,000. Don't go too far. You're watching the HPT. You are watching exclusive coverage of the HPT. It's James Larson and Maria Ho coming to you from the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Maria, only 3 players remain. 1 will be our new champion.
Matt Culberson looking to close this out. He's been our chip leader for the majority of this final table. He has a huge chip lead still with 6.5 million. Jeff Bryn just over 3 million, and Mike Ross with just under 2 million.
And Maria, as you know, as you're a professional poker player, even though Matt has this huge chip lead, one mistake and he could find himself at the bottom of that list.
I think it's important to not get too comfortable, even when you do have the chip lead. Like you said, you don't want to make a careless mistake. You want to continue to chip away at your opponents.
Gotta finish it to win it.
Matt raises to 200,000 with 9-5 of clubs from the button.
Over now to the small blind of Jeff Bryn. He's grabbing for raising chips, and that's a 3-bet to 530,000 with pocket tens.
530, he has 30. 3-bet to 530.
Over now to Matt Culberson.
Actually back now to the original raiser of the 1 seat.
Suited 9-5.
It looks like Matt wants to maybe call in position here with this hand. You know, I don't actually mind that. I think when you have position, you have the chip lead, you feel like there are a lot of flops where you might be able to take this pot away.
Let's go ahead and see the flop, please.
Pot size of already over 1 million chips. These players are playing for a lot of cash tonight. 129,000 up top.
500.
King 8-4. The good news for Matt, a couple of clubs.
And Jeff checks it over to Matt, and Matt's going to semi-bluff here with the flush draw. And Jeff is going to quickly call.
It's a bet of 500,000 chips. Jeff does make the call.
Jeff doesn't love that 1 overcard to his pair, but he is still willing to see the next card.
The turn card is the ace of spades. If Jeff didn't like the king, he definitely doesn't like the ace. He checks over to Matt. I would imagine Matt's maybe going to bet again, but he doesn't. He checks. He's going to take a free card. And the river card, bingo, bango, bongo, the queen of clubs.
And so now Jeff checks, and I can't really imagine him calling a bet from Matt here. It's pretty much the card that Jeff didn't want to see.
3 overcards on the board and 3 clubs. The bet now 800,000. This should be fairly easy for Jeff to fold his hand. Jeff has 2 12th place finishes on the HPT. He's going to fold that one. Pot size of just under 3 million. So Maria, the rich get richer. Our chip leader, adding to his already enormous stack. He wants to be our new champion. Matt Culberson does, and take home $129,147. The action continues here from the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa, St. Charles, Missouri. 40,000, 80,000 with a 10K ante. It's James and Maria. Happy you could join us tonight here on the HPT.
Jeff raises to 225,000 with King Queen, and Mike quickly moves all in with Jack 10 offsuit. It's 1 million more for Jeff to call.
I call.
And he does make the call.
Hey, my name is Mike. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and I'm a professional poker player. It's a big title, very important. Heartland Poker Tour, very exciting, and the money would be fantastic. We have a straight.
Mike says if we put our cards together, we have a straight. A 4-card straight.
Shove, fold, call.
So Mike's tournament is on the line here as we go to the flop. And the flop is 7-8-9, ladies and gentlemen.
7-8-9.
Mike has flopped gin here, jack high straight for him. Jeff is looking for runner outs to make a bigger straight or chop outs.
You're going to put the 10 up there for the sweat. Go ahead.
Turn card is the king of spades. So Mike Rossi looking to double up, and he's going to do just that as the queen of hearts comes on the river. Mike Ross is smiling. He's happy. He's still alive here at this nationally televised HPT final table, coming to you from the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa right here in St. Charles. Action continues here from the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa. Matt Culberson looks down at 8-6. He's going to go ahead and make the call. Now to the big blind of Jeff. He's going to check his option with 7 tray of clubs. And the flop is 7-6-5, 2 hearts.
So Jeff has flopped top pair, but Matt has middle pair with an open-ended straight draw. The chips are going to go all in the middle. Jeff's tournament life on the line here.
He's ahead. Jeff's ahead.
All right, so the turn card is the king of spades.
Matt is looking for a 9, an 8, a 6, or a 4 to knock out Jeff.
Jeff hoping to double up, keep his tournament hopes alive. And the river card is the tray of spades, so 2 pair for Jeff. He's going to win the pot, and the double up is complete. Well, now it's time to step aside from the felt as we bring you a poker life with Doyle Brunson.
Well, Titanic Thompson was Amarillo Slim's teacher, so he was a gambler that was probably the most talented, gifted athlete of our time. Not physical athlete, but like pitching horseshoes, shooting pistols, shooting guns, golf. He beat Brian Nelson right-handed, beat Ben Hogan left-handed. Just a natural hand-to-eye coordination that was unbelievable. But he came up with all these propositions where he would figure out ways to make bets that he could win. One time in Hot Springs, Arkansas, all the gamblers were there. He was driving around and he saw a farmer that had a truckload of watermelons, and he stopped him and said, "I'll buy this load of watermelons and you count them and I'll give them back to you." So the farmer naturally did it, and now he's standing down on the steps of the pool room, and this truck driver drove through and he said, "Let's guess how many watermelons on that truck." Of course, he knew exactly, and everybody liked to bet. You know, a gambler's a gambler, so they all bet, and the one that got the closest would win. Well, obviously, Ty would win because he knew exactly how many was on there. So he did things like that. He would move signposts that would say Dallas 30 miles. He'd move it 10 miles, and he'd make it out like he wouldn't see it. How far are we from Dallas? So we're 20 miles. No, we're further than that. Well, you want to bet, you know, and he did things like that all the time.
You are watching exclusive coverage here of the HPT, coming to you from the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa in St. Charles, Missouri.
Matt Culberson is in prime position to take this down. He has just under $7 million. Mike Ross, $2.6 million, and Jeff Bryn with under $1.9 million.
Matt Culberson has led this thing wire to wire, but it's not over yet, as these other two players, Mike and Jeff, they want to be our next HPT champion as well. And hello, pocket aces for Matt. He's going to raise to $225,000.
It's a little unfair for the chip leader to also wake up with aces on the button. Jeff calls $185K with ace-5 of clubs.
How do you score from? So 2 players, 2 1/4 a call, and that flop is.
And oh my gosh, the flop, 2 5s and an ace.
And if we thought it was unfair, it's even more unfair as both players flop a boat, but Matt flops the biggest boat possible.
Just a disaster about to happen. So a check, and then Matt bets $125,000, and Jeff quickly makes the call as he's still stacking chips from the last hand.
And turn is the 10 of diamonds.
And Jeff slow playing what he thinks is the winner, checks over to Matt, and now Matt checks as well, and we go to the river card, the Jack of Diamonds. Neither player worried about the diamonds, both players with a full house. Jeff's now going to bet $350,000. He's going to be in for a big surprise.
I'm all in. Call.
Now a raise and a call.
Wow!
And an all-in
Full house, full house. Look at that flop.
He sees that it is just a terrible cooler here at this final table.
Look at that. What a cooler.
And just like that, Jeff is going to be eliminated in third place, taking home $52,000 and change. You know, it's kind of a bad way to go out, but Jeff doesn't look too upset about it.
What are you going to do?
He's a great guy. Jeff Bryn, congratulations. A nice payday. He's going to be thinking about that one for a long time. That's one you think about on the ride home and you go, what the heck? But again, he's still smiling. I would be too. $52,466. An unbelievable turn of events here on the HPT.
Mike Ross is happy to be in this position to go heads up now for the HPT title and the 6-figure payday, but he's going to have to go through Matt Culberson, who has just about $9 million to his $2.5 million.
I give Mike Ross credit for hanging around. Now his minimum cash per second, $78,350, but he, just like Matt, has his sights on winning this thing as the top prize just over $129,000 in cash.
Matt limps in from the button with 7-6 offsuit, and Mike checks his option with King Deuce.
The flop is King 7 Deuce.
So Mike has flop top and bottom, 2 pair here. Matt has middle pair. Mike checks it over to Matt, who bets $125,000. If I were Mike, I would just call here. No reason to scare him off.
500.
Well, he's going to raise to a $500,000 chips. By the way, this is Mike Ross's first HPT event. He's got over $150,000 in lifetime earnings. And the chip leader, Matt Culberson, is going to lay it down.
And I think Mike kind of wishes he just called now because he saw that Matt actually had a piece. And if he had just called, he probably would have been able to extract a little bit more value.
Matt Culberson, 32 years old. He's a baseball instructor. He's a coach. $480,000 in career winnings. And he's only got $375 invested in this HPT event. What a success story.
Blinds 40,000, 80,000 with a 10K ante, and Matt raises to 250,000 with 9-7 offsuit, and Mike just calls with jacks.
Things are heating up for Mr. Ross. The flop is 8-6-5. They're all spades.
But even when Mike gets dealt a big hand like jacks, Matt's just going to go ahead and outflop him with the straight here, and also with a straight flush redraw.
This Matt Culberson needs to go buy a lottery ticket while we're here in Missouri. This guy is just running red hot.
Matt bets 350,000, and Mike just calls.
And Mike knows this hand's about over as he checks as the fourth spade. The 10 of spades comes on the board. Both players checking that. I guess the only thing that could get better now is maybe a straight flush for Matt Culberson. And wow, 6 of diamonds comes on the river. Mike bets 400,000 chips.
Had you in such bad shape on the flop, I flopped it.
Yee!
Wow, and that bet is going to make Matt fold the best hand.
Flopped it.
Wow.
Flopped it.
Big move there by Mike.
Wow, you did. That spade don't come on a turn, you get it all, because I was going to raise the turn. I had 2 jacks. We were both trying.
I know. I know it's going to be a huge pot. If that spade doesn't come, I know it is.
It's over. It's game over. If that spade don't come, I'm not laying that hand down.
James Larson, Maria Ho, broadcasting here from Ameristar Casino Resort Spa in St. Charles. Blinds are 40,000, 80,000 with a 10K ante.
Mike looks down at ace-7 of clubs, makes it 250 to go. Matt re-raises to 750,000 with king-queen of hearts.
A couple of good hands here, heads up.
And I like how aggressive both of these players are. I think heads up, you can't stay out of each other's way, and they're not afraid to be in each other's way.
A lot of cash on the line here in St. Charles, Missouri. And of course, everybody wants to be called a champion. The flop, jack, and a couple of deuces.
So Matt checks it over to Mike. I think that's a good check back by Mike with ace high.
Turn card now, another club, this time the 4 of clubs. We start with Matt Culberson.
So Mike has turned a backdoor flush draw, and his ace high is still good, so I don't think a bet from Matt is going to get Mike to fold. Mike might even decide to raise.
Matt is stacking some chips. Looks like a pretty decent size bet.
All in.
And it's a 775,000 chip bet. And now Mike Ross says he's all in.
It's a good semi-bluff shove there from Mike, and he's going to take it down.
Well, the momentum is changing a little bit here at this HPT final table. And when we come back, we will have the conclusion. We'll find out who our new champion is going to be. You're watching the HPT. Welcome back to the HPT. It's James Larson and Maria Ho as we come to you from the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa right here in St. Charles, Missouri.
This final table started with 9 players, 3 of them named Matt, and James and I predicted that a Matt would win. And you know, a Matt is still in contention, and actually he has the chip lead right now, $6.5 million to Michael Ross's $4.9 million.
And I know it seems like a stretch, but I think Sean Roberts can still win this thing. All right, the action continues. 40,000, 80,000 with a 10K ante. It's heads-up poker right here on the HPT. Buckle up, because I think this one's going to be a good one.
Matt limps in with 8 4 offsuit, and Mike checks his option with 10-5.
And the flop, 2 9s and a 5.
Check.
So the action is on Mike. He checks, as does Matt.
Turn is the 7 of diamonds, so Mike looks like he's going to bet his 2 pair now.
And the bet is 150,000 chips.
And Matt just has a gut shot straight draw, but he calls.
River card, please, Mike. And that river card.
River card, the deuce of hearts. Mike checks. Over to Matt.
And Matt's missed making a hand here, but he wants to try to win this pot with a bet on the river, but I don't think he's going to get Mike to fold.
Look at that, 250,000, and Mike is going to make the call. If you're just joining us, Mike Ross playing some great heads-up poker here at this HPT final table.
Well, in heads-up play, it's pretty much no fold-'em, hold-'em, so you can't really get a ton of bluffs through in smaller pots.
It seemed like Mike Ross sat back in our episode last week, and he let players just hit the rail. He hung around, and he's switching gears now.
I don't think so.
And he's playing some great poker. However, that man, Matt Culberson, with a huge chip lead, looks down at Queen 6. He's going to raise to $250,000. Mike makes the call. We know in heads-up poker, in one hand, everything can change. The flop, ace, queen, 5, couple of diamonds. Both players check.
Matt has middle pair here.
Turn card is the 7 of diamonds.
Both players check again. Mike has turned a pair of 7s, and he also has a 10 high flush draw to go with it. Both players check.
300. Call.
On the river, Mike improves the 2 pair, and he bets 300. Matt's going to quickly make the call.
He flips over 10-7.
Wow, everything going the way of Mike Ross. And I think Mike Ross is starting to think, I can crawl myself out of this hole and I could maybe win this thing. Up top, $129,147. Second place, $78,350.
No, I'm not getting off the hand on the turn.
Mike is starting to even things up a bit.
This is Mike's first ever HPT event. He's got over $150,000 in lifetime earnings. 40,000, 80,000 with a 10K ante is where we're at here in St. Charles, Missouri, Ameristar Casino Resort Spa. Mike Ross is going to raise to $250,000 with 5 tray of spades.
Call is made by Matt.
Culberson's going to make the call with his queen 8.
Go ahead to the flop, please.
Matt doesn't seem too deterred by the fact that a few pots have been going Mike's way.
2 deuces and a 4 on the flop, as well as a couple of diamonds. Matt checks over to Mike.
Mike has flopped an open-ended straight draw, and he checks behind as well.
Turn card is the queen of hearts.
2.
So Matt's got 2 pair now, queens and deuces. Mike's still got a draw, and so he's going to call the 200,000.
200 and a call. 1 card to go. And the river card is the 5 of hearts.
So now Mike rivers a pair, but it's not going to be good enough as this hand goes to showdown.
You are watching exclusive coverage here, coming to you from the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa in St. Charles, Missouri. This is the HPT. James and Maria with you tonight. Make sure to check out our webpage at hptpoker.com. We have so many events all over the country. Give it a shot, and maybe you'll be playing for the life-changing cash. And Maria, $129,000, that truly is life-changing.
I think Matt's gotten his fair share of big pairs at this final table. He wakes up with aces, and Mike has queens, and this is just disaster for Mike.
Absolute disaster. Aces against queens.
Mike 3 bets to $750,000, so Matt is just deciding, do I want to call here? Do I want to 4-bet? What is going to get me the most chips?
Both players love this situation.
I raised 1.5 million more.
And that's a raise.
1.5 million more.
I'm all in.
Call.
We knew this was going to happen. Matt slams his cards down. Mike realizes he's in a little bit of trouble.
Matt's just cooler to a few people at this final table. It's not quite over yet. Still 5 cards to come, though. Mike is looking for a queen or a lot of spades.
Like Maria said, just an absolute cooler. Everything was going perfectly for Mike. He was running so well. And then he picks up queens, but runs him right into the buzzsaw of Matt Culberson's pocket aces.
Doesn't really help to run good if your opponent runs better. And this is just kind of a situation that's very unfortunate. So it's actually Mike with a slight chip lead over Matt. So it's Matt's tournament life on the line. If Mike gets lucky here, he'll become our newest HPT champion.
Yeah, there's still 5 cards to go. He's got pocket queens. There on the flop, no help. It's 9-4 tray rainbow.
2 cards. 2 cards.
So Mike down to just the 2 remaining queens left in the deck.
2 cards.
Turn is the 7 of diamonds, so 1 card left to come. Otherwise, Matt's going to get a double up through Mike and leave Mike decimated.
1 card.
Mike Ross thought he was so close to just winning this thing.
No.
Runs him right into aces. 1 card to go, though. If a queen comes, we'll have a new HPT champion. His name will be Mike Ross. It's the 8 of spades. No queen for Mike. Matt celebrates. And Maria, I think you said it. He's going to be left with about 20,000 chips.
Yeah, Matt's pretty excited because he feels like he's pretty much closed the door on Mike. But, you know, you still have to play the next hand out, and you really never know what could happen. But obviously Mike's got a huge uphill battle at this point.
So I'll go ahead and update the chip counts. Matt with 12 million. Mike with 20,000?
I think that's about right.
Unbelievable. Big hand. The aces hold up against the queens. A huge hand. Matt can taste it. He knows it. It's about to happen. That man about to take down his first HPT championship and just over 129,000. And when we come back from this quick commercial break, we will have the conclusion. You're watching the HPT. Welcome back to the HPT. It is James Larson and Maria Ho coming to you from the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Maria, we might want to check. Is that a typo there?
Nope. After Matt doubled up through Mike, he's left Mike with just 20,000 in chips. So I feel like the writing's pretty much on the wall, but it's not over until it's over.
Chip and a chair. However, we may need an extra hour or 2 in the broadcast if Mike Ross can come back. Well, 20,000 turns into 40. 40 goes 80. 80, 160. We're going to get it all in right here. It's 8-7 against 9-6. Mike all in for his tournament life. His 20,000 out there. All spades. Queen, Jack, 5. Which one of the players has the higher spade? Well, of course, it's your chip leader, Matt Culberson.
Mike's still in the lead with 9 high, though. The turn is the 9 of spades, and it's over for Mike. He is going to finish in second place as Matt makes the flush. And Mike Ross here is going to take home $78,350. Not too shabby, but I'm sure he didn't want to lose all his chips in that queens versus aces confrontation. But that's just the way it goes when everything goes right for Matt Culberson. Mike Ross was starting to pick up some steam towards the end, but then he got completely coolered with queens against Matt's aces. And so instead, he's going to have to settle for second place, but a nice chunk of change. James Larson is standing by to talk to him.
Mike, you make it all the way here to the end. You wake up with queens. Let's be honest, you weren't going anywhere, but what are the odds you're running them into aces?
It's tough. I mean, a few times in the tournament I had queens and lost every one, so I guess it's kind of fitting to bust out with queens.
Your first ever HPT event, you go home at the final table, you play heads up in just under 80,000. How do you feel?
It's fantastic. I mean, it's a lot of money, and I'll be back. Can't wait for the next event.
Give him a big round of applause, everybody. It's East Coast Mike Ross, second place. Nothing shabby with that. Just under 80,000.
Congratulations to you, Mike, and I'm sure we're going to see you back here real soon. The winner today, though, and the newest HPT champion, Matt Culberson, is standing by to talk to James.
Matt, what's going through your mind right now? You are the champ. You bested the field of over 380 players. How do you feel?
Very fortunate. I played good, but I got lucky, and there were a lot of really good players the last 18, 20 players left in the tournament. Very, very fortunate.
You almost relinquished the chip lead. Did you think it was ever slipping away?
Absolutely. He outplayed me for the first probably 15, 20 minutes, and I was very lucky to catch the hand when I did to turn the tide.
You're going home with just under 130,000. Anything you want to say to your friends and family back there in national TV land?
Thanks for all the support. I appreciate it.
All right, give him another big round of applause. That's Matt Culberson, our new champion here, Ameristar Casino here in St. Charles, Missouri. All right, Maria, well, that's going to do it for tonight's episode, and I wish I was Matt Culberson right now.
Yeah, he is going to take home a whole lot of money, and he actually made our prediction come true. Matt did end up winning this event, and it's not like we had great statistical odds that was going to happen or anything. He played a really good game, though, and it's well-deserved.
Congratulations to all our final table players, and also thank you to everybody for coming out and making this event such a success here at the Ameristar Casino Resort Spa right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Now, a lot of people watch this show on TV. We get tweets, we get texts, and a lot of people say, James, I could do that. I'm better than that guy. I'm better than that gal. Well, then why not give it a shot? Check out our webpage at hptpoker.com. Pick an event. Come on out and see if you can win the life-changing cash. So for Maria Ho, I'm James Larson, and we'll see you next time on the HPT.